Welcome to Dead Game. My name is Wally Phelps.
And I am Carlos Longoria.
How are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. I was on vacation for like a week, and today was my first day back at work. I'm on call.
Uh,
It had to, it's just a lot, going back and
mm,
after being off, not having to get up early and everything, and then you got to get up at 4, and you're just like,
I can only imagine. I remember
but
when I used to do that. No, I don't like it.
yeah, but I mean, work went fine. It was a fine day. I had to stop at Walmart, which I know I've talked to you about them before. Having issues with the delivery and stuff, and we only needed a
Oh,
couple of items. And I told my fiance, I was like, no, just put it in the cart in the app. I will pick these 5 items up myself. Went in there and I was done in like 15 minutes. Out of
yeah.
there, went home. We had some finger foods and whatnot, and
I feel like we could do like a review show about delivery services
yeah, probably so.
because they're all kind of bad, but we
Yeah,
use them.
well, so I just tried. We just tried the one that Target is doing. They do delivery through Shipped,
Yeah, I know.
and
Shipped. I've used Shipped.
this was our first time with Shipped. So apparently, I guess the Shipped person does the shopping for you.
They do, and they'll
I
text you if shit's not.
Yeah,
If
like
things
yeah,
aren't
I was
there.
getting like text messages as they were shopping, and I was like, "Oh, they don't have this," and I was like, "Oh, they don't. They have this," and oh, so I was
That'll
like,
work. Yeah, I
"Cool."
mean,
Yeah, I was like, "That is actually pretty darn cool."
it really
So
is. When you use that other service, when you compare it to Walmart, it is far better. It's
right,
far
like
better.
I like the fact that they're giving you live updates. I'm
Right.
sure maybe that's not like standard practice or whatever, but
Oh
our
no, that
the person
is.
is it really?
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Oh, okay. Well, heck, I like that. And then the guy can't. He was very pleasant, and and he was made it in a good amount of time, and whatever. So I am trying
I
them
had
out.
one shipped person who sent me like memes along the way, the like it had like a dog and a wheel to the car, and it was looking like it's like stay calm, we're on our way, and
Yeah.
just stuff like that. And I'm like, this is great.
Well,
I love this.
the he sent me my driver or I don't know what they're called. Uh, uh, uh like at the end of the delivery sent me a like a Merry Christmas thing,
Aw,
like a little animated gif, and I was like, "Hey, that's pretty cool." Like it was much more personal,
it really
and
is.
I liked the
Walmart's more
overall
corporate.
experience. Yeah, it
It
was very yeah,
feels
excuse me. And I
cold in a way
understand that. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. But also
because of the volume.
it
They
was
have.
and I get that. Yeah, it is a much bigger, thing. But this was like, you know what I mean? Like
It
it
was a
was just
very
like,
pleasant
wow,
experience. Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah,
yeah.
I liked it. So we are gonna give it a try and see how it goes. Apparently they do a few several places in our area
Mhm.
that they shop for. So you
I
can
used
just
to have
use
them
the
go to
app.
Rouse's for me because,
Yeah, and see, I didn't know.
and
I was like, I thought it.
I'm gonna be
Go ahead.
upfront with you. The reason why I used to get them just for Rouse's is because if I go into Rouse's, I cannot be trusted.
Well,
There's
see, and
so
that's
much
the
stuff
thing.
I will buy because I'm hungry.
You're saying that, and
you know.
yesterday we went to Sam's,
Mhm.
and so my fiance asked me, "Hey, if like we were driving like towards home, and she was like, "Hey, if we go to Sam's, do you think we can get shrimp and cupcakes?" Now, it's like what
Shrimp
shrimp and
cupcakes,
cupcakes? So
delicious.
shrimp and cupcakes, yeah. And the only thing I could think of was have you ever seen The Water Boy?
Yeah.
And so he goes to that party after the game, and hey, you want Louisiana frog cake? And it's like a cupcake with frog legs like sticking out. And,
Yeah.
and I was thinking to myself, I was like, wait, what? Like that was the first thing that popped in my head. But I was like, yeah, if we go in there and just get the stuff and everything. We ended up walking out of there with like 5 other items. It wasn't bad, but we did not stick to just the 2 items that we were intending to go in there for. But we did get those 2 items though.
Well,
So, whatever.
I feel like we should uh, segue into our topic for today.
Sure.
But before we do that, I want to apologize for anybody who's listening on headphones and they hear loud poppings and explosions behind me. The reason for that happening is the fact that we are actually filming on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New
And
Year.
there, there are people outside exploding off fireworks at
Right.
8:30. So happy 8:30,
Yeah,
everybody!
yeah.
And it's uh, and is there any kind of an update with they haven't announced a Mega Man game since we last talked,
Not that
correct?
yeah, not that I've
Okay.
heard. I mean, I know okay, so I the only thing that I know of is that the last Mega Man related news is for the original series. Like they're
Mhm.
planning on more original
I
Mega
have
Man.
seen that, and
And I
our
think
friend
they're
Jason is very happy with this.
right. I am excited about it. Truth be told though, I still have not played I still have not bought Mega Man 10 or 11.
Wow.
Because I'm more of a fan of the X series. Now I like these. Like I tried the demo for the last one, and I was like, hey, this is pretty neat. I just hadn't gotten around to buying it, Like I've been
Right.
playing so much other stuff and Fortnite with you that I just hadn't focused on anything else. I just
Right.
bought The Last of Us Part 2 because it's
Right.
$10, And I
You're
was
like,
like,
well, when is this
hey,
ever going to be $10 again?
yeah, that's what I was like. Well, it's $40. It's discounted to 10 right now. Let me go
Mhm.
ahead and jump on this. I don't even know when I'm going to get around to playing it.
That's
I
why I
will
bought a new
eventually.
controller. I bought a new controller. I didn't need one because it was $20, and I'm like,
Yeah, but you know
shoot,
what I mean?
man.
Like whenever they're on sale, you got to jump on the sale.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know when it'll go back down again.
One more
Um,
thing about this you were saying about getting the on a deal. I was going to get a replacement keyboard for the one that I have. Now, the one that I have is just some cheap keyboard. And truth be told, I'm not looking to replace it with an extremely expensive keyboard because that's not me. I'm not the person that's going to spend $80, $100 on a keyboard. I just don't.
right,
I'm a value shopping gamer. I'm a budget gamer,
right.
and
Falling on a
and that's
budget.
and it is what it is. That's what I do. And at Walmart, they had a keyboard that was discounted from 30 to like $21 or something like that. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that one. That's
That's
pretty
pretty
cool.
decent.
And it's made by Steel Series, so it's it's decent brand.
Decent, yeah,
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go buy this thing because my W key, which is used like
yeah. That's like the
ninety
key
percent
that
of
you
the time,
use.
that's the key to walk forward. Is like starting to like I'm starting to feel it where like if I'm walking, sometimes it'll just randomly stop, and I have to like mash it more. Like I am feeling the that I have to press it more. I
I
bought a
don't
cheap
like
keyboard.
that.
Right. So I was like, I'm gonna have to replace this pretty soon. Now, the past couple of times I've been playing with controllers, so it's not a big deal because I haven't been using my keyboard the past
Right.
few times we've been playing. But I like to play on the keyboard regardless.
Yeah.
Like eventually I'll go back, like I've been practicing stuff on keyboard and there are things I'll do on keyboard. Sometimes I'll switch on the fly. Like if I'm trying to get an accurate shot, I will grab my mouse and aim and shoot from afar. But
Right.
if we're up close, I'm going to grab my controller and
Because that's a
cuz
better
that's a better
experience
thing.
for
Yeah,
you.
it
Yeah.
is. I've been doing that. So, I went to the Walmart and I was like, "All right, it's $21. Let me go inside." And I was in there. I went to the register, I do the self checkout like 99.99% of the time cuz why am I going to wait in the other line and have to deal with somebody else? So I went ahead and went to the checkout, scanned it and it was still $30 and I was like so I asked the lady, I was like, "Hey, this is supposed to be 21?" And she was like, "Does it say it's an online only price?" And I was like, and what it said was price may vary at store. And I
Um.
was like, and she was like, "Yeah, they're not gonna." she's like, some of the store prices are going to be different than the online price sometimes, and I was like, you know
That
what? I am gonna order that sumbit.
you know what
Sorry,
I used to
I'm
do
gonna
was
order it online and just pick it up
that's
because
what I used to do because it's like I would see a price
it's
that's like
dumb.
it really is. They'll have
Because
it,
why
and
can't
I'm
they
like,
just match the price? They don't do the price matching at the store anymore. I
no,
found out they just don't. They don't do it. So what they're gonna do is they're still not gonna get those extra
it's their
$4.
inventory,
Yeah,
and
it's still gonna be $21. I'm still gonna get it for the price that I want, but they're not gonna do it at the store.
there's a step there that they don't want
Yeah,
to take.
yeah.
Ugh.
So all right, so I'm just ordering it online. I will pick it up. It's
But
fine. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't even know how we
Sorry,
got there. Well,
sorry.
we are.
We were talking about deals. You got a
We went
controller.
to because we went to. It's funny how our both of our brains work this way. Where
Yeah.
it's like we start out talking about it, Mega Man, that went to something, that went to deals, that went to this, and now we're going into today's topic.
Right. Right.
Rhythm games. Now, the reason why we're saying rhythm games in general is because they're all basically the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, they, you know, the one I prefer is Rock Band. So this is going to be a very Rock Band centric list.
Sure.
But
Sure.
if Guitar Hero wants to do this, or if, or the
What's
God, I
that
can't
other one
remember
that
that
was?
Power Gig. Uh,
I never played that.
who did?
I didn't even. Whoa, sorry. I didn't even know that existed until like just not too long ago. Honestly, I was like, wait,
Right.
what? What is
What
this?
is that?
Um,
Yeah.
what it reminds me, not Power Gig specifically, but you know what also is not, and I don't know if this will be considered a rhythm game. Maybe it will, I guess, because it's the same sort of thing. But remember, they used to have those karaoke games too that were
Yeah, that is a
similar.
rhythm game.
Yeah, so I used to have one. I think it was called "Sing It" or something like that, or I don't remember what it
Sing It was
was.
after because it started out with Karaoke Revolution, which is where Harmonix actually got their start with
Yeah, I forgot about
that type
Karaoke
of rhythm game.
Revolution. Honestly, I forgot
Uh,
about Revolution.
it was a Konami game, but it was developed by Harmonix, and Harmonix was actually uh, basically the way this happened is they were contacted by a company called Red Octane,
Okay,
who was a peripheral manufacturer, and they wanted to have Harmonix make a game for a guitar peripheral.
gotcha.
So that is where Guitar Hero came from. Uh,
Ah,
Guitar Red Octane, who owned the rights to the title Guitar Hero, was
mhm,
bought by Activision,
right.
and Harmonix went off to create Rock Band, while Activision drove the genre into the ground with the Guitar Hero franchise.
You know too
Uh,
much about this, Willie. I'm just gonna tell you.
I do actually, yes.
All right.
But it's not just Activision. Harmonix also did it too, because if you go into the lineage of these games in just a few years, you got
Right.
Guitar Hero, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s, which was the last one made by Harmonix.
Okay.
Then there was Rock Band, Guitar Hero 3, Guitar Hero World Tour, Rock Band 2, Rock Band, Lego Rock Band, uh, Green Day Rock Band, Beatles Rock Band, Guitar Hero Aerosmith, Guitar Hero Metallica, Guitar Hero Van Halen, uh, Band
Jeez.
Hero, uh, all of the, and then the thing that kind of blew everything up, the thing that was kind of the harbinger of, we may have overdone this a bit, DJ Hero, and
DJ Hero. I man, and I another one I did not try. Now, out of the Guitar Hero ones, I think I've only ever like I bought two. I think two was my first experience with it.
Mhm. And that was a
Um,
good one.
and then I bought three, 2 and 3, I think, were the ones that
2 and 3
I
were the
bought.
big ones.
Yeah, I think those were honestly the only ones that I owned. Um, I wanna say I rented another one, but I can't remember which one it was. Like, somebody had it for rent, that when they were still renting stuff around here.
Wow.
Um, and, I can't remember which one it was, though, but I know you're a big fan of Rock Band. That is something I never, tried. I didn't know anybody that owned one.
What?
Yeah, and except for real, or maybe they did, and I just didn't know that they
You
did,
weren't invited to their party.
Right, I wasn't invited to the band. I didn't make the band, I guess. I didn't make the cut.
Right.
And that, but I had a PS3. One thing that I did spend a lot of time on was I had a PS3 at the time, and I bought a it was a the guitar, but it was PS3 PS2 compatible. So it had the
Mhm.
PS2
Connector.
a connector, and it had a USB
Mhm.
connector. And I found out you can somebody made
You had
a
a
game
dongle.
called Frets on Fire
Yeah. And you
for
can use the
PC,
dongle for
and you could
PC,
use
yeah.
it on the with the USB
There's
on a PC,
a game
and
called
it worked.
Clone Hero that is
Is it really?
currently, yeah, that you can do that with.
And I was
Uh,
like, man, I had a blast playing that though. Some of the I will say that some of the songs did not match up to the beat at
to the
all.
charting.
And yeah, and it just did not, like, I couldn't, like, there was some that were like really well done. Cuz I think wasn't it submitted, like, it was all user submitted stuff, like,
Yeah,
kind of
all of
thing.
that was, yes.
And yeah, I like, some of it was like great, and there was like very a good amount that was not well done. It was just like it was very random. I was like, there's no, it doesn't follow the
It
thing.
doesn't feel
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what you want me to play, and I couldn't get, yeah. So like, I played it for a
That's
while,
basically
and I
that is
liked it, but
why
then
I had
it
a
just,
problem with Rock Band, not Rock Band, with Guitar Hero
is it really?
because
Yeah.
in the later series,
Uh huh.
they had a problem with overcharting, where they would
Ah.
chart things that didn't exist in the song.
Ugh.
So yeah, so you would end up playing the song, and because this section is fast, they'll put more, just acrobatics into it
Sure.
to
So
make
just
it
to make it
more
more
difficult.
movement,
So, for
right?
example, in a song like that Rage Against the Machine song,
Hmm.
where all he's really doing is hitting one button and then flipping it over and over and over again. Well, I mean, he's hitting one string and just making the noise. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
They would make that just like five or six
Uh-uh.
things because it sounds different.
Right.
He
Sure,
yes,
but
he's
that's
using a pedal in the actual song, but
sure.
the way Rock Band would do it, they would just have you hold on to it, and you can
Right.
use the whammy bar to fiddle around with it if you wanted to.
Right.
So stuff like that kind of soured me on the Guitar Hero, and that's
Yeah, I
why
could
I
see
just
that.
stayed. Plus, I didn't like the way their drums turned out because they tried the band thing with I think it was World Tour that did the band,
Oh, was
uh,
it? Yeah, I remember that one.
and then they did Band Hero after that, which
I see.
was Rock Band but with more pop centric hits.
Mm.
Uh, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Uh, honestly, I just didn't like the set lists, which is not a problem
Yeah.
with Rock Band because there's so much music in Rock Band.
Right,
So,
right.
so I have over 1,000 songs on Rock Band right
Buzz,
now,
man.
and yeah, and I still play it. I play it on my Xbox Series S often, and I have all of the instruments, which we'll get into.
All right.
But it is a lot of fun. Rock Band 4 is a step back in some ways from Rock Band 3
Oh, okay.
because the character creation isn't as good and they never really did it any better. Even though they did updates, they continued to do
Right.
updates.
Right.
But the character creation was a lot better whenever you were on Rock Band 3. You had keys on Rock Band 3, so you could play a keyboard. which I thought was cool, but they took that out of Rock Band 4. I
Oh, that's crap.
understand why they did it. I don't like it, but
Right.
I don't see why you just couldn't keep it and then just not make more of the keyboards because I got one. I don't care if
Yeah.
anybody else can. But right. But and that's one of another thing I'm going to end up having to go into.
Right.
But Rock Band 4 is still even being supported. They had new downloadable content this week that came out 2 days ago. D Light's
Interesting.
Groove is in the Heart, and
So so they're still releasing like stuff for it.
still
Like
releasing
didn't
music.
I see something recently though that
They're
they're
shutting
like
down
removing, yeah, shutting down something?
they're shutting down the stores for Rock Band 1, 2, 3, Green Day, Beatles, Blitz, which I'll go into in a bit also,
Well, see, I can
and
understand like the older
everything
ones
but
being
4 is being shut
okay.
down.
All right, I guess I can understand that though. You know what I mean? Like, because
Right.
at this point, is
Like if you
anybody
already
buying?
have
You know,
now, I still have some questions about it because right now Epic owns Harmonic, so um,
so
Epic
maybe they're gonna let you like keep your downloads, or if you need to re-download the way.
you will be able to re-download it. I don't know how it's going to work with the songs that were released during the other games.
Okay,
I know you're not going to be able to get the Green Day songs anymore unless they re-released them, and I didn't know about it because I already own them.
right.
But and they have been re-releasing songs, individual songs from the set lists of Rock Band 1, 2, and 3. But it's I don't know how to really reconcile that. I don't know how it's going to work. So when it happens, I'll know because I'll boot it up and I'll see what's there.
Right.
But
Yeah, you'll find out.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, there's so much content, it's impossible for me to even notice. I think there
Yeah.
are a few things that I've noticed that I can't, like. For example, I know there are songs that I owned that just aren't there anymore,
Hmm.
and I can't tell if it's a problem or if it was part of the rock band. Um, there was a I can't remember what it was called, but people were able to chart their own songs and submit them to Rock Band, and
Oh, and maybe
they
those
could
are the
sell
ones that
them.
got taken out. Okay,
Right, because you couldn't re-download those.
I see.
So like a lot of Jonathan Colton songs were there. The Bed Intruder song, "Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife," all that. Yeah, that was on the
Yeah.
Rock Band Network is what it was called,
Oh, okay. All right.
and it I can't tell if that's why they're missing or
Yeah.
if there's just something up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I have the Bedroom Intruder song on my console right now? Do I got Paralyzed? Because I know that also was part of the thing. You know, the Paralyzer. I'm not paralyzed, but I
Oh, yeah,
should
yeah.
be. That song was on there too. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check
Yeah,
after the
now you're
show.
gonna have to.
But
Yeah, now you're gonna have to check, and we're
but
gonna have to
now,
see now.
so I've written down some ideas for Rock Band 5.
You got a whole. Wait, Wally, you need a trapper keeper for
It's
all
only
that now.
75 pages.
Oh, only
Um,
75. Okay, go ahead. Chapter 1.
it's so really what the first thing I actually wrote down was I would love for it to have a streaming platform.
Yeah.
So instead of now, the last Guitar Hero tried to do that, but it was poorly implemented because you could only play certain songs on certain days when they come up in the playlist,
Really?
and it was very poorly implemented. I'm talking
That's
about
that's
like a
weird.
straight up Spotify type situation where if I'm paying monthly
Mhm.
to you, I have access to all of the songs.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
uh, I want the option to purchase so I can play them offline if I wanted to, and that's the reason for purchasing
Okay, so you could play it while it was in the queue, I guess, and available for that day, but if you wanted to play it, then you had to by that one particular song, play it offline
Yeah,
or
that was in the
whatever you want.
Guitar Hero.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
and what I'm saying is that I would like to be able to just have access to all of it, right?
Right, right.
At the
Let me
same
just
time,
let me
let me
let me
search
just
for the
get let me
song
buy
I'm
this one. I
wanting
want
to
that. I
sing.
want that. Yeah, yeah,
Could
yeah.
you imagine going to a karaoke bar and only having like 16 songs that they have chosen? And, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait for Bon Jovi Day 3 weeks from now.
Yeah,
Uh,
come back tomorrow. Wait a
right.
minute now.
So, no,
Yeah,
that's the dumbest thing.
yeah.
But if you want to purchase it, you can, and you can play it whenever, even if you're offline. Um, so that's my first idea.
Sure. Yeah.
My
I
second
think that's a good
one
one.
is like a battle pass, like, but I call it
Yeah.
backstage pass.
That's pretty good.
And the
That's
what
pretty good.
and
Li-
what it is.
wait, wait, Well, you gotta trademark that.
No, look, I want Rock Band to do these things,
Yeah,
but
I know.
what it is, when you have the backstage pass, you can get more create a character options as well as full on skins.
Sure.
So if you wanted it, you could get say a Kurt Cobain. That's a bad example because that'll never happen again.
Yeah.
Because of what happened with Guitar Hero, I'm not going to go into it.
Okay.
But like just a Harry Styles
Sure.
as
Yeah,
the
like they could
level
release different
100.
skins.
Right.
Maybe different, like a song or two that's in there that's only available through the battle pass.
Right,
Probably they would end up doing
exactly.
something
Well,
like that. Like,
and not, I wouldn't maybe have it where it's coming in this season, but you you get it as a download if you do
right,
that.
like it's
That kind of thing.
included with the
Exactly,
backstage pass. Sorry.
but precisely.
Right.
In the backstage pass, you can
I was saying
also
battle pass.
you can also have like posters that you can um, customize and stuff like that. You could even
Okay.
print them out if you wanted to.
Sure. Yeah, I
Uh,
remember a couple of games back in the day, man, in the early 2000s, I think. They had a couple of things where you could like take a screenshot and then you could send it to your like save it to your
Right. Rock Band
account
used
and
to
print
do
it.
things like
Yeah.
that too, where
Yeah, there
you
were
could
a
make
couple of games
these
that did that. I
types of
can't
things.
off the top of my head, I can't think of anything for the life of me, but I know for a fact there were a few games where it was like, yeah, save your screenshot or whatever the heck,
Right.
or do the thing, and it would go to your account associated with that game, and you could just like download it and like use it as a wallpaper, print it, whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's like pretty cool.
I think like things like you can make like a discography for your band, or with like a you'd have like photo shoots and things like that, and you get
Sure.
different props and things that you could use for the photo shoots, and
Album
you
art,
know uh
print your print your own
right,
jewel
or
case art.
exactly. And so I think that would be really interesting. It's funny, Rock Band did this thing where you could actually take uh your created character and print them, and they would send them to you. So it was like Hero Forge before Hero Forge was
Before
the
Hero
thing.
Forge was the thing. Wow.
Now
Okay.
I don't think that would be such a like a huge undertaking, because it was expensive. Uh,
Sure.
but nowadays, I think that would be a thing that you would be able to do
Yeah, you
at
would
a
think.
much lower rate. So I think that you can get minis printed and
Right. Or
whatnot and
they
sent
could
to you.
probably get, maybe they could like partner with like Hero Forge to make these things.
Right. Oh my
And you know
gosh.
what I mean? Like they could just
Just do
have
it.
them
Yeah.
do it, since they're going to be, they do the character, the creation of the minis anyway. Why
Right.
not partner with one of those companies like
That
Hero
already
Forge
have it.
that
Which
already have the
also,
equipment, and just partner with them?
which brings me to my next thing. I really believe that it would be a lot of fun if there was some sort of role playing component. And I'm not saying like in the game itself. Imagine it, because we're talking about physically, everybody has to physically be there or online. Why
Sure.
not have it be like a like a role playing gaming system also, like D&D or something of that nature, where
Like in
your
in
band, but it would be called Battle of the Bands. And
oh.
and
So
you are
you could do
trying
like a
to work your
versus?
way up into. So there's like it's kind of a combination of a board game slash role playing game
Okay.
situation
Okay. Okay. I could see that. I could see
where,
that.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't know how it would work. I'm not a game designer in any way, but I would
Sure,
sit
sure.
down and I would be happy to play test these types of things,
Sure.
because in the middle of the game you can play a song or something like that, to get out of something, or I think it'd be pretty cool. Um,
Yeah.
the next thing is, so this is kind of a double whammy here because the instruments are incredibly expensive to produce, and it actually bankrupted Mad Cats. Uh,
Yeah, I miss it. Like I used to buy all kind of Mad Cat stuff.
yeah, and it is Rock Band's fault that they are no longer around.
Is it really?
It is. They did not sell as much Rock Band 4 product as they needed for it to be successful. Um,
I see.
so
So
they it,
they didn't make the money they needed
yeah,
to
they
in order
didn't
to
make that
continue.
threshought
I
to
see.
to so really what it all
See, I
boils
didn't know
down
that.
to,
I just thought they just kind of
it just
because there
fizzled
were
out
other. Yeah, I just thought they fizzled out
because it's Mad
uh
Cats.
because it was Mad Cats. Yeah, it was
Because
like everybody was moving on to like everybody wanted like the
the
brand
official
controller stuff.
thing,
Yeah,
yeah.
the official stuff
But
cuz
you
Xbox was
also new
getting,
players came in, like Power A is one, um,
yeah, Power A is like
Laser, and
I
you
own a
know,
Power A controller for the Switch, and I have a Power A Xbox wired controller.
mhm,
There's like drift or something. I don't know. It's just like it's always walking up and to the left, and I have to like like bang on the thing. Yeah, and I'm like, nah, let me just leave it alone. So I just have it there just as like
as a
it's because I
decoration.
don't want to throw it away. Yeah, yeah, like to add to
It's
my
my
collection of
baby.
it's yeah. Like I was like, hey, look at that. But one thing that I did have, what was it? Rock Candy was the other
Hmm.
third party brand, and I have a PlayStation 3 Rock Candy controller
I remember
that was
those.
and it was see through and
I was
like
about to say
you know
they had the lights inside of it and
yeah,
some of
yeah,
them, and
and it was I actually used it for my PC for quite a good while. Like when I would play, like a lot of stuff on my old laptop, I would play
right,
like my older games on there that did not need an Xbox controller because I had a bunch of older games that I still had on disc, but they were compatible with older controllers.
right.
So and now you need like X input because everything is going to Xbox now, and everything that's made for PC or
Yeah,
Xbox
it's
is
Xbox.
yeah, you need an Xbox controller more or less to be compatible or some kind of equivalent. And so it's just sitting there in my bag, but I don't want to throw it away because
Yeah.
you know, you know.
Well, I mean, I
But yeah,
totally
so
understand what you mean.
Mad Cats didn't make their thing, and
Yeah. So I don't know how we would really reconcile that because of the fact that
right.
if right now, if you go online, buying instruments is
Hmm.
incredibly expensive,
I would imagine
on
so
the secondary
because
market.
they're not making them anymore at this point, I guess.
They
Huh?
no, absolutely not,
So whatever
because
was
they
out, and
had a
that's all they
warehouse
sold.
full of them. In fact,
Gotcha.
if somebody out there has um, a conversion kit for the drums, which is a kit that plugged into real e drums, and
Oh,
you could play Rock Band using the drums, like real drums.
oh wow,
If you know anybody who has one of those, they're like $300 now. So
wow,
yeah, it's for a little wire that plugs your thing into
yeah,
another thing to make it work.
wow,
And
interesting.
so I feel like, and I hate to say this, I feel like there could be tiers to this. I think that if you make a certain amount of lower tier instruments that will work, but are really not great quality, that would be. I
Yeah,
hate
I
to say
mean,
this, but that would
yeah,
probably be the best option there.
but that's kind of like how things are now. There's I mean, rock
And
candy was
then
never like the
no,
greatest
it was just
quality. It
cool looking.
worked. It worked. It looked nice. It functioned, but when you would hit the buttons and things, you would
They're
audibly
clicky
hear
and
them. You could
yeah.
hear the buttons. You could hear the plastic rubbing against the other piece,
But if
and
you
it was
are
clunky. But
if
it
you're somebody
worked.
who's intensely into it,
Yeah.
that's when you have the higher end
Oh
instruments.
yeah, you're gonna need something that's not gonna break.
Right, something that these people who are at the higher level of play will buy.
Right. Right.
And but the thing is, you can't make them in the tens of thousands. You have to make them in the probably low thousands.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just because I mean, I would buy them. Um, I mean, once mine broke, thank God mine have not broke yet.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
still have mine. Like let me pull my. Uh, I think I have. Yep. Hold on a second.
Yep.
Let
Yep. Go ahead. Oh.
me. So yeah, here is a Rock Band 4 Stratocaster
Nice.
that the good people at Harmonix actually gave me.
Oh,
And
wow.
uh, I'm telling you, Harmonix was, I don't know the people who are there now, but the people who were there are
Mhm.
some of the most amazing people that I've ever actually spoken with. I have an original drawing somewhere from one of the concept artists, Fish McGill, somewhere in my storage. Uh,
Interesting.
and they actually cleaned out their warehouse when they were moving offices, and
Mhm.
they just shipped me a whole bunch of random stuff. So I have maybe 2 dozen copies of Beatles Rock Band, and
Like, here, have
and they're all for
a
the
bunch of
Wii.
these. Oh,
So
wow.
and the PlayStation 3. And but yeah, this is a really well made guitar, and
Yeah,
it's
I mean, like, on my end, it's a little bit blurry at the moment, but I
yeah.
can
Well,
see
it's because the
I
lighting
can
and everything's
see
bad
that
here.
it
And
is a good
they got
made.
the good clickiness to it.
Right.
And here's the fretboard where you do the solos, and the colors are on the sides of it, so you can see it looking down.
I gotcha.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people use the Guitar Hero controllers because, to be fair, they are better um, for more accurate playing. But these look more like a guitar, an actual on
Right,
string
yeah,
guitar.
yeah, when you pulled it up, it looked like a guitar without strings,
Right.
is what it
That's
looks like.
basically
I
what it
mean,
looks
this
like.
is what it looks like. Yeah.
And it works great. I just used it the other day. Uh, but here's the thing with this:
Mm.
when you want to play it, and there's not a lot of people there, or there's people inside your home, or you live in an apartment,
Yeah.
what the drums are horrible to play when you're in an apartment. Which are the drums are actually in my trunk. I have no idea if they work or not. But the uh, reason why I bring all this up is because they had a game. It was a puzzle game called Rock Band Blitz, and this is one of the games that are being turned off.
Oh,
Rock
okay.
Band Blitz, the way it worked is that it had lanes across the screen
Mhm.
that correlated with the different instruments. So the vocals, the guitar, bass, drums, and I think
Okay.
keys also had one. And what you did was you moved back and forth between the lanes, and you played the songs. And the way that worked is you press the down key and the X or A depending upon what you're on, or the circle,
Sure.
and you just do it over like left right left right left right left right left right, that kind of thing. And what you would try to do is get a high score by the time you get to the end of it. So whatever instrument has the most difficult lane is going to give you the most points, and you
Mhm.
can jump back and forth between them. So if this one suddenly stops, like if the singer isn't singing, you could pop over to drums or pop over to the
Interesting.
guitar solo or pop over.
So you were a one man band then.
Exactly. And there's power ups that you could pick up and whatnot. So like there's one power up where you could deploy it and it'll play one lane while you move over to another lane and play it.
Oh.
You there's one that would just knock out all of the notes in front of you on one lane so you could go to another one. There's one that would give you like a like leeway. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
That's kind of, that sounds interesting.
Bring it back as a mode. It doesn't have to be its own game.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
bring it
yeah.
back and put it in the game as a way for me to
I can
play
see that.
when I'm not around anybody.
I can
Because
see
I
that.
love because listening to music, somebody with ADD,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
I mean, I honestly I feel like I probably do have ADHD, but because I can't
Maybe
just
so.
do one thing, so I can't really just listen to music.
Right.
So I'll be listening to music and scrolling through my phone. Why am I not listening to music and playing Rock Band Blitz at the same time? That is
Right.
what I want to do. So
Yeah, I can see
that's
that. I
that
can see
is
that.
that is what I think we should do to when we bring back Rock Band, Guitar Hero, or whatever. We need
No, well,
all of
you
these
what
things.
they need to bring back is Tap Tap Revolution.
Oh, I remember.
'Cause
Yeah,
you
you got me into that.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
I thought it was great until it's like, well, these are a bunch of songs I don't like.
Yeah, yeah, I remember playing that, like, it was big for a little while, and then
It
it
was
just kinda,
like
like,
2
it
years
went
ago.
away,
Yeah.
and then there was another one that they did.
Oh, and I think it was like in 2020 because
No. No,
I
no,
think it
no,
was at the beginning because
no,
I was playing it at
the
work.
one that no, the Tap Tap Revolution, doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
The one you're talking about is another one. It's called BeatStar.
Mm,
That's the one that's the current one, and it has more current songs on it and stuff and everything. Not much into the classic stuff or really rock things at all. Um, but man, I used to love playing that Tap Tap Revolution, though. I tell you that
I
it
want to
was
say
all
I
right.
used to play it too because it was very much the same as Guitar Hero or
Yeah,
something
because it
like.
would just have that fret going on, and you could
Yeah.
thing, and yeah. But I used to love playing that, and BeatStar is fine, um, but I don't find it as satisfying. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not the same for me.
Let me check
Though it
something
is a
out here.
good game. I'm not saying it's a bad game at all. It's just not the same for me. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I just wanted to make double sure I wasn't telling lies, but yeah, the Mad Catz logo is on the back of this thing.
Oh,
Yep, it says Fender
lovely.
Rock Band 4 wireless Fender Stratocaster for Xbox One. Mad Catz harmonics, and it has the guitar symbol next to it, the Rock Band guitar symbol.
Awesome.
Manufactured by Mad Catz Incorporated in China. So, sorry, Mad Catz.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, I do miss Mad Catz stuff though. Because like I said, I used to buy a lot of Mad Catz products
Hmm,
because like I said, I am a budget gamer. I just I never really had a whole lot of funds to like disposable income just to buy like the good controller all the time. Like if I saved up, I could get it, but
right.
also
Well,
I'm
that's
also
like
impatient.
anything.
So I was underfunded, poor. I don't know what you want to call it.
I was underfunded.
I was underfunded, but you know what I mean. I didn't have the money a lot of the time. Number one, number two, I was a patient man when it came to. Boy, I'm that gamer that waits until the game is $20 or less. I'm that dude.
I
But you know
used
what
to
I
be
mean? Like,
that dude.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
I am that
well,
dude actually.
well, be to be true. Truthful, I will spend money on a game if it is something that I am very much into and
I
anticipating
absolutely
and
need it.
whatnot.
Yeah,
I will do it. I'll set some money aside early. That way it's, there, and I don't, it's not going to be like a burden later. Like, cause $60-$70 is a lot of money. No matter how like some people are like, it's $60. Yeah. $60 is several weeks of gas money for me. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I need that money. So I
It's like
will.
I also don't understand how people are able to just buy a game without having to think about it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
like
like
I have some friends on Discord. Like this one person on Discord, he's always buying games, and he buys them in boxes sometimes. And I like he'll go out and go bargain hunting and stuff and everything. And now I know he didn't pay like $20 for a box of, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Come on now. But if he can do it, that's awesome. I was never able afforded that
right,
opportunity, I never could. If I had the money, would I do it? Of course I would. You know what I mean? Like I don't care
right.
that I had but
Do you know that
eh,
you know that just the thing that really pops out in my head is Arcade One Up because
yeah.
it's an amazing product that is targeted to people my age
Yeah.
that I cannot justify the cost.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing is like those are made for us.
Right.
Like I grew up going to the arcade. That was
Hmm.
my like I would take, 10 maybe $20, if I had $20 to just, throw away. And I would spend the day at the mall laying at the arcade just the whole day, and
Right.
it's fine. I had a blast. Go home, whatever. Maybe I get a slice of pizza on the way home. It's
Delicious.
fine. Yeah, but you know what I mean. But and so these arcade machines, the the youth of today don't have that experience, and having these machines at home, or the availability of these machines at home, it's a good thing. It's cool. It's a neat idea. It's
Yeah.
novel. But I don't think that they don't have that same interest. You know what I mean? It's just something
Right.
new to them.
Yeah. This is
When for
targeted at
me,
us because this
yeah, it's
is
targeted for people like me and
that's
you.
like
Yeah, our
owning a
age.
Pizza Hut with the stained glass lights and
Yeah,
the red cups in our own home.
right.
There's a certain amount of nostalgia
Right, the
that hits us
nostalgia is
right in the
that's
heart of
exactly what it
us.
is. That's exactly what it is. Nostalgia. I
And
couldn't think
if
of that.
I had if they sold kits that could turn my dining room into a small Pizza Hut from the 80s, I would definitely buy that. But and it would have an arcade one up in it.
Yeah,
And
really. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, just put it on the side. Get the Ninja Turtles one.
well, I was
And
thinking the Miss Pac-Man table
well, yeah, yeah, that's that'd be cool.
because that's literally the one we had in our Pizza Hut.
The
So
one of one of our yeah, I was gonna say one of our you're saying that, yeah, I think one of our Pizza Huts had the Miss Pac-Man table. It was it Pac-Man? It was a combo one where it had
yeah.
Mr. Do in there
Oh,
and
Mister
something
D.
else.
Yeah, it was some
And I
Namco
can't
game.
remember. It had a couple of games in there, and you could just choose and stuff. And I was like, that is cool. It's got 3 games. How did they do that? That was like
Right. It's a miracle.
what witchcraft is this? Yeah, it was
It's
it
like a
was
few years after the NES came out. You know, they had the Action 10 arcade game,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they had
Yeah,
10
yeah.
games in it. But the
Yeah, I
thing is,
used to
I
play
had
that all the time.
never seen one until after I already got an NES, and I'm like, how is this witchcraft happening?
Yeah,
Uh,
but the thing that I did not like about the Action 10 is that it was very timed.
mm,
And it was only like I think they only gave you like 5 minutes,
something
or
stupid.
5 or 10 minutes or something like that.
Like
And if you did not get to a certain point, it would just like stop, and it's like, more money, please.
yeah,
What?
right. And I'm like, well, I got this game at home. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I didn't like the way they did that one.
But
But
is there?
yeah.
Do you know what game we're doing next week?
I had not decided yet. I think I have a list. Where's my Oh, I didn't bring it in here. I left it out in the other room.
As one
Um
does.
yeah, I just realized that I left it in the thing. I do have Oh, you know what? I do have my Hold on. There we go. Let me pull up my I do have it in my Google Docs though.
Ooh.
I should have had that. That's not what I Yes. Here we go. Episode stuff. I was thinking about either so you have rhythm games. Okay, there we go. So I was thinking about Castlevania.
Castlevania.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll
Um
get a listen from Jason.
oh yeah, yeah, Jason's going to be like, "What? Yeah. Well, yeah, we need a new Castlevania game." So so I was thinking either that or Contra. Now, Contra did really put out a game, like what was it in 2019 or something like that.
Nobody
It was
remembers.
not the same. Yeah, well, I can't remember. I can't even remember the name of the daggone game. But you know what I mean. I think they just
Yeah,
need they just need to start over on that one. Like, I don't know if I'm going to talk about Contra. Um, but you know what I mean. Like they
yeah,
released it and it was a top down shooter the entire time. And it didn't do well. The mechanics were dumb. Nobody liked it and it just faded away really quickly because it was
yeah.
just
Because
not a good
nobody
game.
like
Yeah,
Jason, even him being the hugest Contra fan, no idea, no idea
yeah.
that it came
Well,
out.
and there is a current mobile game for Contra. Um, that's called Contra Returns, and you can play with an Xbox controller. And I've been doing that honestly. I do play it sometimes, and I do keep my Xbox controller with me in my bag,
Hmm.
and I play it sometimes. It's actually fun, but it is very mobilified also,
Mobilified.
and yeah, there's like things you unlock these characters and do this and do that. You know what I mean? It's very tasky. Um, but the levels are fun nonetheless. Um, But either way, like I said, I think I'm gonna go with Castlevania because that one there has not been a new game, not for console anyway. I think they did do a mobile game also. I
Right.
don't know why these companies are just doing mobile, but no, not on console. I don't understand why they just don't
I,
put them on console.
I don't know. I understood it a few years ago
Yeah,
because they were like the medium is going mobile, and most of us were like, nah.
not really.
Yeah.
No, I
I mean,
mean,
they do make a lot of money that way, but like I think there has to be a certain amount of crossover for it to
right.
be
You know the one
mainstream.
thing. The one thing that was supposed to go mobile, and I'm probably not gonna talk about this much, but
Fortnite?
and then
I'm
then
kidding.
it just kind of yeah, really, and then it fizzled out. Sega Forever. So there was a program that Sega announced several years back. It was called Sega Forever. They were releasing all of their old games little by little on mobile. They were
Oh
going to do
yeah.
Dreamcast games and Saturn games. Genesis. There's several Genesis games. You can still get a bunch of Genesis
Yeah,
games.
I have a few of them.
I have,
Or
yeah, I
I
have a few on
did
my
have a
phone.
few of them. Yeah.
Right. As but and you can play with controller and everything on some of these, depending
Hmm.
on your, which game you're playing. But and it's fine. It works fine. It emulates well. But they just like I didn't look into it much, but I know something happened to where they couldn't do it anymore. Like some deal fell through
Right.
after the fact and they could not do it anymore. They're just like, no, can't put out any more games. So the only Dreamcast game that they put out was I want to say it was the only one. I think it was only one, and that was Crazy Taxi. So yeah, exactly. But I wish that was a thing. But because I would gladly give them my money to be able to like play it legitimately.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I think all they asked for was like $2.99 for the game or something like that. I
Yeah, it
can't
was a
remember.
very low
It was like
price,
$3 or
and it
four
was
dollars.
often on sale too.
Yeah, and like
It's a
sometimes, yeah, it was a
dollar
dollar
ninety
ninety
nine. It's
nine.
like,
Yeah,
oh snap!
so I would have gladly paid $1.99 for these games, or four, maybe five. It's
Yeah,
fine, but now it's like, no,
this doesn't feel right.
nah, can't do it. But yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do is Castlevania next time.
Okay. Castlevania next time, ladies and gentlemen. The we thank you so much for listening to Dead Game, and just remember that you can go and give us a review if you want to. You can do that on Apple. I think we're on Apple now. Are we on Apple?
It did get submitted, and we're just waiting for the thing. It just takes
Okay.
it. They just take their time about it
Well,
or
if
whatever.
somebody
But it
asks if
did
you
get
want to
submitted.
review us, and and give us
Yeah.
good
Now I know
reviews.
that on Spotify you can do. I thought you could do reviews on Spotify. I thought I remember seeing something about reviews on Spotify,
Mm,
but you can rate on Spotify. Get like
okay.
5 stars.
5 stars, please.
Five, both hands. Five. Rate us twice.
That is how many five
That is how
plus
many
five.
fives we need.
The,
Yeah,
correct.
but you can do it on Spotify right now. But yes, we did submit to Apple Podcasts as well as a few others, and we're just waiting to hear back, from
Right.
that.
So just
And
whatever pod launcher you use, take a look and see if Dead Game Podcast is on there. If they
yeah,
are, please give us a subscription, because that'll be the fastest way for you to be able to find out when the next episode appears. Next,
correct.
also go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to Dead Game Podcast, where we will have video versions of this. You'll be able to see what Carlos and myself look like, which is
Ugh,
terrifying.
ugh,
Now,
spooky.
spooky.
It's enough that I have to look at your ugly mug. No.
I'm even wearing a Ghostbusters shirt
See,
at this
look, and
point.
I'm just wearing my Deadpool
Right.
t-shirt.
I mean, we're
It's like
not nerds.
I'm wearing like this what's it called? A muscle shirt, tank top,
Yeah,
whatever it's
muscle
called.
shirt. Yes,
Yeah,
he's trying.
and
He's going for the sex appeal. That's what this
yes,
is.
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. Look at that. Not a single, not an
Come
ounce
with
of
me if
muscle.
you want to live.
That's exactly.
But
But yeah,
we're
you can
also. Oh God, I lost my train
with
of thought.
look with the links though. You can even if it's not on the platform that you want, we do have the RSS link enabled.
Right.
So you can add that to any podcatcher you want. So if you go to our link tree, I do have the RSS link in there as well.
And if we're on
So you
YouTube, you could probably find it underneath us.
yeah,
If
yeah,
I
I have the
assume.
links in there. Yeah. So it'll just be so if you go to Linktree, it'll be linktr.ee/deadgamepod. And that has all of our current links. I just updated it today. So all of the
Mm,
ones that we submitted, maybe it'll show up because I did put we did submit to Amazon and like I said a few others. Uh, but it's just they submit it and they're like, yeah, you submitted, and they give you a link. So I put those links there, so maybe it'll
maybe
be
that'll
active by
work.
the time. Maybe it'll work. But if by chance it does not, the RSS link
Just
is
keep
in there.
looking. Yeah,
Yeah,
use the
yeah, just
RSS feed.
use
But
the
you
RSS.
can also follow me personally at the Real Big Wall on Twitter. You can also follow Carlos. I am the Rampage one, the number one,
Yes.
on Twitter, because apparently there is another Rampage on Twitter.
I don't know. That is also in our link tree as well.
All
I did
that.
put
Whoa,
those in
okay.
there. All of
A
that is
whole
in the link
tree
tree.
of links, and
Yes, the whole tree of links is there.
but thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day. Live long and smoke meats.
All right, everybody, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see y'all next time.